Hello, so my name is Caleb Clay, and my major of choice is education, and my project is over the use of marijuana and how it affects the critical thinking of college students. So I chose this project just because I am a college student, and right now Texas is passing bills, or is in the process of passing bills to legalize marijuana, and Oklahoma is already uh, in the state of legalized marijuana. So I just figured this would be a good local topic to go over, and yeah, let's start, I guess. So what's the deal? Critical thinking is very important amongst college students. So with schoolwork and going to labs, projects, just in class time, even writing notes, it all requires critical information because you're having to think about what you're doing. And so, college students right now, or I mean, not right now, but just in general, are at a very young age to where their brain is not fully developed and it's still growing. So, it needs some more time in order to figure things out and just be able to learn better and be able to hold information better. So, why is that? Why is that important? So, another thing that I didn't mention was college is very stressful. So, with the stress being involved and the way that the U.S. is being opened up to new ideas right now, uh, the next things are that the points made before can create alternate pathways, and what that means is a student will choose a different pathway based on how they want to assess what they're going through, like what stress they're going through. So, a lot of people have a lot of different ways to go through stress and deal with stress. So, we're right now just focusing on the use of marijuana and stress, but we will touch into a little bit of alcohol and just uh, sort of comparing. And we're also looking at how students are more able to get, or students are able to get marijuana more effectively in some states of the U.S. Right now in Oklahoma, it is 18 for marijuana. I mean, of course, you have to have the medical card, but uh, goes to show it's not that hard still. So that is that is a fact. And another problem with students now is vaping is such a big thing in almost not every grade level, but higher grade levels are starting to see more and more instances of vaping. And what vaping does is if you see a friend vaping, even if you do not do it yourself, you are getting influenced in some way. So it is important to not do that, but it does happen. You do get influenced. So yeah, next topic. So this will go over the local, national, and global problems with marijuana. And so I scoured everything for any sources or sites of this, and so this is what I gathered. In Texas recently, vaping marijuana uses in college have doubled in size since 2015. Now, the project that I found over this was actually uh, made in 2019, so that was only 4 years. The vaping marijuana use in college in Texas has doubled. And so it in the project they did a little or almost 5,000 students. That is the increase of vaping marijuana used in Texas in colleges. And there was a slight decline in the use of hookah marijuana. Me personally, I don't know what that is, but I guess it's just putting marijuana into a hookah piece. But yeah, it probably should have declined. And then there was no change in hand rolled marijuana, such as joints or cigarettes, blunts, cigars, whatever you prefer to call it. Uh, and so, what this gives you is just a piece of Texas history at the moment. It's getting very popular, and I feel Texas is going to be one of the next states that'll open up towards it. I would say, but going on to other things nationally. marijuana is increasing in multitudes amongst college students. This is already, like, it's increasing between every age level. It really does not pertain to college students that well, but in recreational marijuana legalized states, 23% of the students are more likely to consume marijuana, not including ones already using it. So, what this means is that in states where marijuana is recreationally legal, 23% of the people that are just in those states are more likely to consume marijuana. This was done from another test or project I have found, an online source. And then there were various other topics in that source. I actually highly recommend reading it, but it goes over just the differences between RML and non-RML states and how it's affecting them. So non-RML actually does still go over, like, non-RML students are still more likely to consume marijuana just based on previous years, and that is because it's becoming more popular. I mean, that's just how it is now. It's really easy to get for students, and it's really easy to affect your just cognitive ability. Globally, it has been flourishing just everywhere. Canada has legalized marijuana. This was recent. 20, yeah, it was recent. Uh, that was a really big thing for me, honestly. I didn't expect Canada to really be just fully open with it, but uh, you know, they're doing them, I guess. Marijuana is used in cultural settings across the world. This has always been a fact. Even in the U.S., I know it's not a good example for global, but in the U.S., Native Americans used marijuana from even before the colonizers came along. So they were packing them peace pipes and doing all that. So, and even in other regions like Africa and the Middle East, Asia, and stuff like that, Uruguay, Sweden, and Thailand are Uruguay and Thailand have legalized marijuana. Sweden, I am unaware of. I know that uh, they have procedures forming in order to see what they want to do about that. But yeah, more into cultural settings. It has been used in like Africa, Asia. I have gone back on the history. Uh, it has been used forever, and even Genghis Khan, like he was a chiefer for real. So that's yeah, uh, that is the local, national, and global problems with marijuana. Next slide. What do the numbers mean? So this just goes more into depth, but I really just wanted to put this nice little graph here that showed the just use in the United States per 100 people, and I got this from the World Health Organization, so it's citable. So in Texas, the 11.8 to 23.9% is the increase of vaping marijuana. I of course already said this, but there's really other changes amongst the other choices. This is pretty true. The hookah marijuana didn't change like really at all. The variable was something like 0.0001% change. So take with that what you will. But it's still a really big increase in number of vaping marijuana. And of course, in my personal opinion, I think some people that use marijuana just don't choose to do forums about marijuana. So there's probably a lot more in Texas, or at least in college in Texas. And I also want to mention that the research that I did on that was performed in the metropolitan areas of Texas. So it was Dallas, Austin, and man, there's a lot of cities in Texas, but just more of that southern area, just Dallas, Austin, really. A little over or about 5,000 students were tested with that, so you know there's probably a lot more colleges in that area. But yeah, in the U.S., recreational marijuana legals legal states, students are 23% more likely to consume marijuana. This was also this was also another previously stated uh, fact, but I felt that it was important to go over it again because it really is just crazy how 23%, that's a quarter of a population of a state, is more likely to consume marijuana uh, if that state has it legal, or even just you have to get a medical card, which is pretty weird. Globally, according to the World Health Organization, 147 million people are using marijuana every day on average. That is a crazy number. That's less than the amount of Americans in America. That's less than the amount of people in America. Um, it usually, or it's actually pretty spread out across a map. That is at least the description I have, and yeah, it was. It's pretty big. It's a pretty big thing. So yeah, more Western usually, but yeah. Ways to prevent use. I'm actually going to move my camera for this just to show the little picture, just because I love it so much. But ways to prevent use. Most colleges and universities, most colleges and universities offer resources to students for rehab and drug prevention for on-campus problems. So if you see students on campus doing things that they shouldn't be, uh, most colleges and universities will have resources that you can go to sort of catch those people and try and prevent them from doing it again, or just try and prevent that from happening again in general. So, and especially for like yourself, they will always care about you. It doesn't matter. Just colleges are always that caring for their students. And then if you're not wanting, or if you're not in college but you're still around that age, most states have free programs for drug use problems and rehabilitation programs. For young adults, this is true, at least for Oklahoma and Texas. Um, this is pretty, yeah, it's pretty nice to have available, and I think more people need to use it, maybe. And I think it just needs to be more open, and yeah. And then the next thing is one of the most important prevention steps is to familiarize yourself. Make sure you know all about the bad. So what this really means is to familiarize with the like name and just how to identify various substances, just so that you even if someone puts stuff up your nose or whatever, you know what you just consumed, or you at least have an idea of what it is, so you can take the steps to uh, prevent an OD or something, go to a hospital or something. But familiarizing yourself is really one of the most important things you can do, just to learn more of what, because I've heard a lot of stories about people vaping in public, and then they get stopped because it looks like or there's really not a lot of difference between marijuana vaping and vaping now. So, people will get stopped for vaping, and it just to see if it's marijuana, and that it's not very awesome. So people just need to familiarize themselves with that. And then the very last step, most important step, just say no. If someone offers it to you, say no. It can ruin your college student mind, your prepubescent brain, not prepubescent, but your very young brain. The brain takes usually up until age 25 to form fully, and you should not be choking that loud pack to deal with college stress. So yeah, that is my project. This is the last page. These are the sources that I used. Um, yeah, this was really awesome. Thank you.